It wasn't something I ever really thought about too much. Like, I was aware of it just because of like the media and like that's what people would talk about a lot, but it was never something like, oh my gosh, like I need to do this or I need to break this. It's kind of just something that has come with.
She wanted the decision made before the roses and speeches. No distractions, no second guessing. By the time senior day rolled around, Caitlin Clark already knew what was next. She would leave Iowa, step into the pros, and carry the kind of expectations most athletes only dream about. But what she didn't fully know, what no one really knows until they live it, is that the hardest part wasn't going to be defending 30-footers or dodging double teams. The real gauntlet was waiting outside the lines. The lottery machine, the coverage circus, and the tidal wave of attention that followed her every move.
I was out in Iowa City interviewing Caitlin Clark back at the end of October and kind of asked her what was going to go into her decision process. And one of the things she told me was that she was hoping to make the decision before senior day.
When Clark explained her choice, it sounded simple. She wanted to be clear and committed before her senior day celebration, so the goodbye could be about gratitude instead of doubt. It was supposed to be a clean break, a professional move made on her terms. Instead, the announcement lit the fuse on something much bigger. Overnight, she wasn't just a college phenom. She was positioned as the WNBA's next savior, a role model for a generation, and the face of a league that had long been searching for one. The arena started selling out. Networks scrambled to slot her games in prime time. Ticket markets spiked. Clark became more than a player. She became a symbol. And symbols attract pressure. Pressure exposes cracks. That's when the system came calling, the machine that turns hope into ping pong balls. Fans want happy endings. Teams want guarantees. The draft lottery gives neither. The formula is cruel. The worse you are, the better your odds, but even then, nothing is promised. It's a game of chance where executives sweat under fluorescent lights while numbered balls spin inside a machine. This year, 4 franchises came desperate: Los Angeles, Dallas, Chicago, and Washington. Each walked in with their math, their scars, and their pitch to destiny. When the drawing was done, reality had spoken. The Dallas Wings held the number. 1 pick. The Sparks, Sky, and Mystics walked away with nothing but thin consolation. That's how it always goes. The system doesn't hand out storybook endings, it hands out numbers. The moment Dallas claimed that pick, speculation ended. Paige Bueckers was going to Texas, and with that, the entire conversation shifted. Dallas had slogged through ugly records, flashes of promise buried under months of frustration, and a roster that never seemed to fully click. Now, all of that misery had purchased them a shot at redemption. Bueckers brings more than highlights. She has the polish, the poise, and the clutch gene that makes teams believe no deficit is too steep. Her arrival gave Dallas a compass, a way to move forward after years of almost but not quite. For the rest of the league, it meant something else. The balance of power was shifting. But here's the truth. Talent doesn't guarantee wins. What Bueckers truly guaranteed was attention, and attention cuts both ways. If you want to understand what Paige is stepping into, look at what Clark already did. The Caitlin Clark effect is no cliche, it's math. The WNBA just posted another record year in attendance. Indiana Fever games became hot tickets, home and away. For the first time in decades, casual sports fans who'd never once checked a WNBA box score were tuning in just to see what Clark would do next. It wasn't just about her scoring, though that certainly helped. It was the spectacle. Kids wore her jersey. Adults argued about her on sports talk radio. The league, long fighting for mainstream oxygen, suddenly had a fresh lungful of air. But more fans means more cameras. More cameras mean more scrutiny. And more scrutiny means every bump, every foul, every expression gets magnified. That's when the whispers about officiating became shouts. Physical basketball has always existed. But it feels different when the star everyone came to see is the one taking the hits. Clark absorbed contact, sometimes brutal, and the whistle didn't always come quickly. Fans erupted online, accusing refs of ignoring obvious fouls. Other players pushed back, insisting this was just how pros play. Analysts dissected each moment like a crime scene. And then came the technicals, the warnings, the moments where officials seemed almost daring the spotlight to turn on them. Every call became a referendum. Was Clark being targeted? Was she being protected? Or was she simply experiencing the baptism every rookie faces? The arguments went beyond the hardwood. They filled timelines, podcasts, and television panels. What used to be just part of the game became a symbol of something bigger: how the league handles its stars when millions are finally watching. If officiating lit the spark, media poured gasoline. A single segment, a careless comparison, or a poorly designed graphic was enough to set the internet ablaze. ESPN found itself at the center of multiple storms, accused of hyping Clark while slighting others or reducing rivalries to shallow storylines. For networks, the incentive is obvious. Clark's name brings ratings, but that creates a dangerous loop. The more coverage skews, the more fans split into tribes, the more resentment brews inside locker rooms. The story stops being about basketball and starts being about narrative control. And once that happens, no one can escape the echo chamber. Online debates are one thing. Racist and misogynistic attacks are another. As Clark's stardom grew, so did the ugliness. Trolls weaponized her name to insult other players, turning sports disagreements into something toxic. Clark herself pushed back, refusing to be a shield for that kind of behavior. She told fans directly, "Don't use me as an excuse to drag others." Her stance mattered, but it also showed the burden of superstardom. She wasn't just playing for her team anymore, she was policing a discourse that spiraled far beyond her control. And yet the fact that she spoke up signaled something important. The league's growth won't mean much if it doesn't protect the people at the center of it. This is the paradox the WNBA now lives with. For years it begged for more attention. Now it has it, and attention is messy. Caitlin Clark's rookie season proved how high the ceiling is. Paige Bueckers' arrival in Dallas proved the machine keeps feeding new stars into the system. Together, they represent the kind of foundation the league has been chasing for decades. But foundations don't guarantee smooth sailing. Clark is already dealing with injuries in year 2, even as she launches her own signature Nike line. Bueckers is walking into a franchise that has no choice but to make her their anchor from day one. The spotlight that once felt like a gift now feels like a test. And maybe that's the point. Growth isn't clean. It's loud, turbulent, and sometimes uncomfortable. Yet it's also magnetic. You can't look away because you want to see what happens next, whether it's a whistle that flips a game, a rookie that transforms a franchise, or a star who redefines what's possible. In the end, the draft lottery is just math. The media is just a mirror. The court remains the truth. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for the noise, but she refuses to flinch from it. Paige Bueckers didn't create Dallas's struggles, but she might just solve them. And the WNBA, bigger and louder than ever, is learning how to carry the weight of an era in real time. That's the story here. Not one player, not one pick, not even one season, but an entire league navigating the storm of its own long-awaited spotlight. And that's exactly why, whether you love it or hate it, you'll keep watching.